A Tale of Two Wives. In a small village surrounded by lush green hills and winding rivers lived a man named Mr Amadi. He was a proud farmer known for his vast yam fields and his two wives, Adunni and Morayo. Adunni, his first wife, was soft-spoken and gentle, but she bore him only daughters, three bright, kind-hearted girls named Tenny, Dora, and Rank. Morayo, the second wife, was vibrant and fiery, and she gave birth to three sons, Connor, Sei, and Beo. Mr Amadi had always dreamed of having sons to carry on his name, and so he showered Morayo and her boys with love and affection. Morayo's every need was met, while Adunni and her daughters were left to fend for themselves. The girls often wore old, patched clothes, while the boys strutted around in new ones. Mr Amadi never missed a chance to praise his sons, believing they were his legacy. As the years passed, it became clear that Mr Amadi's favoritism had consequences. Connor, the eldest son, was arrogant and reckless, convinced his father's wealth would always provide for him. Sei, the second son, was lazy, spending his days gambling in the village square. Beo, the youngest, was headstrong and often got into trouble with the law. Meanwhile, Tenny, Dora, and Rank worked tirelessly to support their mother and each other. Despite their father's neglect, they remained determined to succeed. Tenny, the eldest daughter, was a natural leader. She started selling handmade crafts at the village market and soon expanded her business. Dora, with her sharp mind, excelled in school and earned a scholarship to study medicine. Rank, the youngest, had a gift for singing, and her melodious voice began attracting attention beyond the village. One fateful day, Mr Amadi's fortunes changed. A disease wiped out most of his yam crops, leaving the family in financial ruin. He turned to his sons for help, but they had squandered their privileges. Connor was deep in debt, Sei had lost everything to gambling, and Beo was facing jail time for theft. In desperation, Mr Amadi approached his daughters, who were now thriving in their respective fields. Tenny had built a thriving craft business and owned a shop in the city. Dora was a doctor, respected and admired in the community. Rank had become a successful musician, her songs playing on radios across the country. Despite the years of neglect, the daughters welcomed their father with open hearts. They pooled their resources to save the family home and ensured their mother, Adunni, lived comfortably. Mr Amadi was humbled by their kindness and ashamed of how he had treated them. One evening, as the family gathered for a meal, Mr Amadi looked around the table. His sons sat silently, avoiding his gaze, while his daughters laughed and shared stories of their successes. He realized that the legacy he had sought in his sons was misplaced. It was his daughters, resilient, compassionate, and hardworking, who had become the true pillars of the family. From that day on, Mr Amadi vowed to treat his daughters with the respect and love they had always deserved. The once neglected Adunni now held her head high, proud of her girls who had risen above adversity. And as the village marveled at the girls' success, Mr Amadi learned a lesson he would carry for the rest of his life: a child's worth is not defined by gender but by character and deeds. The end.